I want Dr. Sunday Adelaja to permit me to use an analogy. Okay, and I want to use him as a person to permit me to use him as...
I'm sorry, I'm going to break the protocol a little bit. Just add one word before you continue. I want to say, why did I just escaped me. Why did I say Nigeria will be plunged into a hell of problem if we elect to be? It doesn't have all the representatives in the parliament, in the National Assembly, Senate, House of Assembly. It doesn't have people in local government. It doesn't have governors. It doesn't have people in something. They will impeach him immediately. The same thing that happened in Adelaja will happen in the national something. Even if he wins something, I don't want that for Nigeria right now. It's going to be too bad. And just to put that in, sorry for that.
Well, that's a good observation, and maybe I'll begin from there. If you remember what I said when I started, I spoke about the fact that because our evolution politically has not gotten to a point where we have party ideologies. Right now in Nigeria, parties are just platforms, they are just vehicles. So if you buy Lufthansa and Lufthansa cannot take you to your destination, just better leave that, buy another ticket and go. That's what has been happening, and this is fact. What that means is that if Obi emerges, you will have more than half from each party move to Labour. I mean, this waste time about. This is what has been happening from 1999. So that would be a problem at all. But in terms of the party structure, and I'll speak because of, we have filled in from to the presidency, we have filled in those and those who are going to win. We have filled in of people contest because it's important. Structure is very important from that level in terms of that grassroots. I'm a politician and I understand that. Anybody that says structure does not matter, no, the person is deceiving himself. But I reiterate again, if Obi emerges today, you will have more than enough people that will move from, because that's what we are as a country. Both APC, they will all just, governors and people, they will just move in. So that's not too much issue to talk about. I want to reiterate.
Dr. Mo, don't you think if that happens, where politicians are crossing over from PDP, APC to Labour at the emergence of Peter, don't you think that would be business as usual?
I get that. I understand that. And remember what I said. Whether you talk about Asuwaju, Peter, or Atiku, we are still Nigerians, because sometimes we speak as though somebody is going to come from, one spirit will come from somewhere and lead us. No, it is still us that will lead it. And that's why I said I was going to use something that, do you know that part of the work that people like myself have done, and including yourself in the last 20 years, churches haven't changed much. But because of people like Sunday Adelaja, there are churches today that have completely turned their back on what they used to teach before. Now, would you say that those pastors are now the way the things used to be? No, I can tell you, it might not be much, but people are changing. With Sunday Adelaja emboldening people like me for the first time, people are like, but Dr. Mo, you have been saying this thing for years. So I say, yes, it is about who is saying it, and that the day we get such clouds too, they would accord us the same thing. So I can tell you that even the people that we talk about that are bad today, people change, nations change, community change, and it is the bad people that become good. So that can happen on that level. But I want to draw our narrative to something that people easily say religious in terms of, but it's not. It's actually a fact. You see, 2023 is becoming, religion is playing a big factor because of the step that APC as a party took. Because there are two things that are key for competence. Competence is recognizing representation and meritocracy. The ability of a leader to understand when, because we are multi-ethnic, multi-religious, the Nigerian nation is more, and that is the beauty of Nigeria as a nation. This is one of the things that makes Nigeria the most diverse, the most beautiful nation, where you have atheists, you have Buddhists, you have Hindu, you have Muslims, you have Christian, you have the free thinkers. This is the beauty of Nigeria. It is a value that you can hardly find in any other nation. We have them in Nigeria. So when APC went for, and I'm speaking to the fact of that, not the sentiment of that when Asiwaju took Shetima, the reason why religion and Peter Obi became limelight based on that is because of the value of representation. And I want to draw, this is one of the things I want to draw Dr. Adelaja to look at, because I come from a very plural family where I have cousins. My cousins, Aisha, come to the house, and you can imagine me, a pastor, telling Aisha, because I'm a geographer, and she says that, uncle, where do I turn to pray? And I say, you've forgotten your geography. This is where you pray. This is how you turn. And she's a Muslim, and she's my cousin, first cousin. So I come from a home like that, way beyond religion, so I come so to understand, and our viewers to understand this. And I'm glad that you can't bamboozle people, really. Next thing I'm going to say in terms of, if you governors, everyone, when they come, they receive award. They go, they say they are the worst. That is the same thing that is happening in our viewers. Some B is the best. I was in Anambra. Somebody say governor. There are people that believe that Obasanjo is. There are people that are, when because if Buhari is right, you are worse than the devil. Appreciate the devil for doing something good. Was one of the biggest achievements away from that. It is this same administration, government autonomy. Do you know that that didn't happen? So when because of sentiment, remove that from him. Sir, do you are Muslims? They accept a Southern Christian more than they accept a Southern Muslim. They don't even consider Middle Belt or Southerners as true Muslims. And I'm talking in terms of the way the core Northerners see those people who come from the South who are Muslims. I'm telling you, and I want you to verify this. This is why they don't see Asiwaju as a Muslim. As long as they are concerned, Asiwaju is even a Christian. This is why they insisted that.
Dr. Mo,
yes, I can hear you.
We have a lot of listeners from all over Nigeria, so I will think we should not go too deep into these aspects.
No,
so let's just be a bit.
I understand. I mean, but what I'm talking about is not. I understand that, but it's not out of place. Because it's 2023 we're talking about, and I'm telling you why religion has become a front burner. However, what happens with politics is that you are going to hear a lot of things that even the things that Asiwaju didn't do, that he didn't know about, they are going to come up with documentation to say he did it. The same thing they are going to talk about Obi. In fact, there will be a lot of fabrication of things that never existed. Did you see the one that happened today until Wike came out? They said Wike had already sued Atiku, and they brought out facts and documents until Wike came out himself. Just like, so you are going to have, and this is the politics. This is why they say politics is dirty. This is why they talk about a lot of things, because people will leave what is factual and what is true and begin to go into propaganda. But I will quickly also want to reiterate that for the listeners and everybody, that Buhari has changed the status quo in terms of the core value of the things we are discussing today. Because Buhari came to power based on integrity, morality, and a general, somebody who understands strategic positioning in terms of this Nigeria and also Africa. being somebody that was head of our military. And because Buhari also, who came like a messiah from northern Nigeria, a fanatical who has also failed not just Nigeria, but his own people. Today, I was in Katsina when, I can't remember when, the Obi movement is moving into Katsina, is moving into northern Nigeria, because we have people, Muslims, who also feel that that a Muslim like Buhari has failed them. Because they are being kidnapped, they are being raped, they are being shambled that has taken over the status quo is nothing to write home about. And so when you look at that, and I want to quickly say that I'm saying overall that Buhari has failed because I come from the ideology that understands that has failed, Nigeria is moving forward. Because nation building is more than just a regime. In the same way, our life as individual is more than us. Whatever a father, they step as long as he birthed the next generation, whether he built, that continuation is important. And this is where a lot of Nigerians also, the fact that we have Buhari, a lot of things, Nigeria has moved. The messianic syndrome has been killed by Buhari. Also, to say that single-handedly has killed an ideology that Obi is bringing to the status quo. I want to say that the one of the things that Obi is bringing to the status quo, the gatherings that we are seeing all over the place, is the fact that Obi is very accessible. Nigerians cannot see. Obi is accessible. Whether he's pretending, whether he's lying, they want to touch, they want to feel. And Obi is giving them that. And because of accessibility also means that, look at what, Dr. Sunday, I want you to see what is happening right now with all our listeners. Completely alienated from the sufferings and the reality of the people. People die. This guy, this regime does not, the word is that they are nonchalant. They don't just care. The equation. And what Nigerians are seeing, and Dr. Sunday, I want to quickly say that when you mention, because you are a person of knowledge and fact, hand that is shaking, it is the brain. The reaction of the hand comes from the brain. Because when I look at track record, and I will say it for who Asiwaju is, this is somebody, he reminds me of myself. He has paid the dues. This man has been working for Nadeco to all of those people. But again, the problem we have with people like Bola Asiwaju, you see, when you say Emilio Khan, it's like my father saying that it is my turn. Buhari was head of state when I was a child. And then in my prime, came back to become the head of state. The same thing that happened with Obasanjo. 78 became president in 1999. Come on, at a time when we have 40 presidents of developed nations, what is competence? Competence is all demography. That demography is a demography that Peter Obi belongs to. And I was saying something that because he's can be dealt with, he can be held accountable. But when you have an elder statesman like Asiwaju, who is also Baba, and because we are also tired of hospital tourism that Buhari has also made blatantly against everything that he stood for. If Baba is sick, where is he going to go to? He will continue. Is he not Asiwaju and Buhari that used to meet in the UK in the hospitals? These are the things that people are seeing that is going to continue. And this is why the young people are tired. They just don't want this thing. Even if Obi is bad, they believe that they can hold Obi accountable. And
okay, Dr. Mo, because of time.
Because of time.
Yes.
So, what I'm saying is that, you see, number one, APC didn't consider representation, which is the core value of competence in their choices. This might be light for people like me, but I'm telling you, for the grassroots people that I relate with, this is key. So with competence, representation, also when to apply what's it called now? Meritocracy. These are the values that people are looking for, and this is what will help us as we draw close to 2023.
Thank you very much.